Okay. We won't start this podcast. We'll just sit here, quietly, just calmly, and they'll say, they wouldn't harm anyone. Look at them, sat there quietly. They wouldn't even harm a fly. Spoiler, that's the end of Psycho. Hello and welcome to One Watched.
Yeah.
Sam, Tom, here again. Just two of us. That should be enough for you. Go away. Don't go away. We need the listeners. Hello.
Yeah. Invite your friends. Bring more people.
The difficult style that is, we watch things, we talk about it. This week, this episode, if it makes it up, they don't always. What are we doing? They'll have seen the intro, hopefully.
We're talking about Veitch Motel.
Veitch Motel, Tom, you've been watching. Yeah. And then James
Veitch,
who literally
just introduced you to.
Yeah. Currently we're going through scripts for a thing called, I'm not even going to go through the name
Our next series.
Hopefully. Yeah. Oh God, that's so... It's 6 episodes of the thing. It's a big undertaking. And I'm going through every script, marking out what actors are in what scenes, and then creating 3 separate lists so I can reference them at all times and stuff. And we've been having background music, and you've finished uploading like our new short film that's going to be sent off to be rejected by places, and it's all, it's all been productive, but I had a food break with a very simple cottage pie, and you showed me James Veitch.
Yeah.
Can I start with James Veitch?
We can start with James Veitch.
James Veitch. I had no idea he existed till like an hour ago.
If that.
He's fantastic. How did you discover him before we go into what he does?
I saw one of his TED Talks ages ago.
Right. TED Talks.
And that's all I knew of him.
TED Talks, if people don't know, are just talks that they get people into do. And I remember an amazing one where it was a guy and he didn't even have... His glasses were just frames.
Another one that I showed you.
You showed me that was wonderful.
How to do a TED Talk.
Yeah, how to do a TED Talk was his TED Talk. I'm nervous. I'm not. Yeah. I'm standing here. I'm swaying back and forth. Yeah, that was really clever. Oh, I was like breaking the wall TED Talk. Yeah, I remember Sarah Silverman did one, and she mentioned something about if she adopted a baby, she would want to adopt a baby who was had learning difficulties, and I think that got pulled, and there was a big thing about it and stuff. So TED Talks. So James Veitch did a TED Talk, and then you showed me... Not the TED Talk first, though we have watched that. You showed me... Because he does YouTube videos. He's a YouTuber. Way better than us. He's a YouTuber. And his whole thing is he replies to scam emails.
Yep.
And that sounds so simple. But what he does with it is amazing.
Yeah. If you want to watch him, you should go YouTube Mashable. And there's like a playlist. I think there's about 12 videos of him, even different scammers.
I will put a link in the description for that because it is worth your time. At least I've watched 3, I think, YouTube videos, maybe 4. So he'll get a scammer. I am from a bank in Hong Kong. I have this, and he'll respond like, "Great, where do we start?" And then we'll go through like, "I'm coming to Hong Kong. Can I stay with you when I go to Hong Kong?" And
basically he goes on until they quit.
Yeah.
That's how he does it for the most part. Is he keeps replying until they quit. Going off topic, bringing up things that are not real, like changing things that they've said. One of the ones he does, I can't remember like all the details, but it's like basically he just they want him to get a bank, and it's called Toaster. And basically he assumes that there's free toaster involved. Yeah. That's how he takes it.
He's quite a charming looking guy. He's got like the like the Buddy Holly kind of slightly moppy hair, black thick frame glasses, and he has the accent of someone who probably acted in Footlights in is it Oxford or Cambridge, one of those two big university things, like he seems quite he's quite refined, gentleman type person, and his videos there's a green screen and then there's some costumes, and he really he had some effects, and they're quite simple but very well done, and that's the key to it. And they're just very fucking entertaining.
Yeah,
he's
and
very
they're all
clever.
really short.
They are really short,
It's just the story of that email chain, which works really well.
And his TED Talks, so there's 2 TED Talks. The first one we watched, which is the shorter of the 2 TED Talks that's up by him, has a lovely message as well. He seems a nice bloke doing very funny thing. And he's even saying, I don't feel like I'm ruining or being really harsh to these scammers. I'm just wasting their time But any time I'm spending, they're wasting with me is time they're not spending scamming someone vulnerable. And then, like, you know, I agree. Like, that could easily be something someone tells themselves to help themselves sleep. Like, oh, what I'm doing isn't really that bad. But I do, like, I don't see the harm. In his case, it's
not. Like, he's not actually doing any harm. Like, there are other people that sometimes it's entertaining, sometimes it's not. Like, hacker ones. There's a guy that I've watched that does, like, hacking videos where he basically plays with, like, the Microsoft service guys that are not real Microsoft service guys that call you up and make you pay for shit.
Right.
And some of them are really funny, and it's like it's the same type of stuff. It's just he's messing with them, and then some of them are kind of harsh, and you sort of feel for like the other person. Like one of them, he basically completely locked down the entire guy's computer.
Right.
But he's working like it's a scammer, but it's a scammer that's working for someone else. So if you know it's the crime industry, scamming industry over there. He's scamming for a guy, and he's using that guy's computer, and he's completely locked it down. Like.
Yeah.
It's kind of, what's going to happen to that guy? Yes, he's a scammer, but he's essentially a guy with a job in a call centre in a foreign country.
Well, there's none of that with Mr. Veitch. James Veitch?
James Veitch. It's very much one-on-one. It's
so much more.
It's purely wasting time.
He used the word whimsy, and it's whimsy, and it's slightly anarchic, and it's great.
Yeah.
And his delivery is fantastic. And they made a very pleasant, like, finishing off script 5 of 6.
Yeah.
Characters. It was a very nice finish there. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, that's out of the way. James Veitch, recommend, links in the description. Now we can move on to the real one you want to talk about today. Bates Hotel. Cool.
Bates Motel.
So I actually started watching it before you.
Yeah.
Didn't recommend it.
No.
Never planned to do a one watch on it. Because I think I just got through the first episode. Now, you know what Bates Motel is. It's from Psycho.
Yeah.
And Psycho is like the classic Alfred Hitchcock film. It's not a film that's aged well. And there are people who say like, oh yeah, Psycho is aged brilliantly and it's still a classic and it's still wonderful. No, it's not. But what it has done is it's retained what's good about it.
Yeah.
It builds suspense incredibly well. Like, it doesn't mean the dialogue or the film or the pacing is anything compared to modern day filming. But it is like the grandfather of modern day filming in terms of building suspense, and it's Hitchcock was showing his mastery before, but it's like the film that really shocked and presented Hitchcock as, wow, that guy's in a world of his own and head of everything. And if you know about Psycho, it's half the film is one story, and then it flips to basically another story.
Yeah.
And it what starts as seems a simple caper actually becomes something much more sinister and dark and shocking for the time, and it has I can't remember, is it 60 something cuts in the shower scene,
something ridiculous like that,
and there's no slip of a boob, nothing, but the way it's edited, like if you do film school they'll talk to you about the shower scene at Psycho and go watch the editing for editing and paste and stuff. But so Bates Motel is from that, and that's when my problem began and ended with it. For me, I didn't get past the first one because like there is nothing here. There's nothing pushing it forward. Yeah. There's nothing acknowledging the past. There's nothing in any of this that's drawing me in. This simply feels like cashing in on the name of a hotel in a very famous film. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I did not have time for that in my life.
And that's pretty much how this is going to go.
Okay, because
I have watched the entire thing.
Yeah.
Or 3 seasons, which I think is the entire
3?
thing. It's 3 seasons.
How long is each season?
12 episodes maybe.
So you've watched 36 episodes.
Yeah.
And you're not coming out feeling particularly positive about it.
Right. Bates Motel.
Do you want to just scale back, go from the beginning? We can leave that in the air.
Bates Motel is the story of a mother and son who are very close, slightly awkward relationship. The son has like some mental issues.
Learning difficulties,
and the mother has had a really bad upbringing and quite a lot of horrible stuff going on.
I believe the inference has always been he's like he's undiagnosed with like a fairly severe autism, or emotional disturbance, or he was already very repressed, and his mother never accepted that. He was never given medical attention. Instead, she raised him in a
and that's essentially what the Bates Motel season stories are. It's sort of his slow decline into that.
And it's like a prequel as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So
Tom waved his hand and did Tom's face where it's like, I have too many things to say. I have to pause and figure this out.
You have that. You also have the relationships with the people in the town and how the town is and stuff.
Yes.
And, like, as its own thing, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But they call it a prequel to Psycho. It is not a prequel to Psycho. Nothing about it, other than the names, is a prequel to Psycho. Right? First of all, it's set in the fucking modern day. Right? Which already ruins it, like, its capability of being a prequel. Like, you cannot have it as a prequel when it's set 50 fucking years after the original. Like, there's no way to have... Unless you're doing a time travel thing.
Well, the logical thing would have been to do Psycho.
Yes.
Like, to build it up and do Psycho.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Either build it up and then end it with Psycho. Yeah. Or set it in the time so that it could actually be set before Psycho and do it that way.
Mm.
But they don't do that.
That one of the things that threw me off about it is...
And I'd be fine if they just said, Veitch Motel, a story based on the characters from Psycho. But they don't. They call it a prequel. It's not a prequel. By default, just from the timescale, it cannot be a prequel.
Unless timey-wimey shenanigans happened.
Yeah, right?
This is where they both got travelled back. They both got sent back in time, or fell through a time hole or something.
To me, it doesn't have a satisfying ending.
Right.
At all.
Okay.
To the stuff that happens in Psycho, it doesn't bring you up to anywhere near that point.
Cool. I was nowhere near even getting attached, so I don't. Yeah. I don't know. Probably shouldn't spoil it.
Yeah.
But you've come out. You didn't feel satisfied with the story.
It probably needed like another 4 seasons to get to anywhere near the point. Really. Like it gets to a point, and if they go, Psycho happened 40 years later, and if this had been set in like the 1920s, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Because it's not a prequel.
Yeah. Okay. So again, I'm only going back on. It was a long time ago. I watched. I don't think I even finished the first episode. I'm pretty certain I didn't. I'm pretty certain I got like 2/3 of the way through and just. But I remember. Okay, so Norman Bates, right? He's adult, but he's
a teenager.
But he's like. Yeah. You know, like 19-year-old jockey.
He's
teenager,
17.
He's supposed to be 17. Yeah. Okay, but he comes off as it's like TV 17. Yeah. You know. I remember the way he played it being like really, really, really like, okay, he's meant to be a psycho. Great, you're playing him like this. No imagination, no creativity to it. Just okay, yeah. If you said play a guy who's crazy, that guy you could go watch 50 like really dumb action films with the psycho villain, and that's what you get. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You watched the first episode, so you might remember this.
Yeah.
How it starts out, how Norman and his mother are portrayed at the beginning. It very well could be set in like the 40s. And if they continued it that way, it would have been fine. Instead, because it's just those characters that feel like they could be set in that time, they constantly feel out of place.
Yeah.
Particularly his mother. She's always out of place. It's like she just feels wrong. Essentially, every decision she makes throughout the 3 series is a stupid fucking decision.
Right.
And particularly a stupid position because of it's being set in modern day times. With like how medical science has gone.
Right.
Her not like getting him checked up or any of those things. I particularly feel more stupid because of the time that it's set in.
Yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't you? I think it doesn't make sense. Like one of the things, like, it's not a spoiler if you've actually seen Psycho. Like, the idea is like he blacks out.
Yeah.
When he commits like, stuff. So like, he's been blacking out for ages. He blacks out, like his blackouts start before like the actual show starts. Like as far as timelines and stuff. And she's never like, screw like the like psychological side of it. If you've got a kid that's blacking out, go to the fucking doctors and get him checked out. Like particularly now, like back, like if it was set in the 40s and it was like, I've got a kid who I think is mentally disturbed and he's blacking out, then maybe like mental health wasn't really looked after as well, and he'd be like, oh, I feel a bit iffy about this. But it's set in modern day. It's like, no, you get fucking help. There's medication. There's all these things. Like, he's not going to get lobotomized. Like, get it fixed.
I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched Psycho, but I think the inference was that when he blacks out, it was like he was so crushed by his mum's death, he believes he's his mum.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's something like that. Like his mum is... I'm sure he thinks it's his mom.
The idea is his mum's always... in his head, his mum's always with him. So he blacks out and he becomes his mother so that he still has that relationship.
He wears a wig and I'm sure the original Psycho... I'm sure it's like he's wearing a wig and a dress by the end of it. And like, he dresses... It's not just he feels, he physically becomes...
Yeah.
Or he physically makes himself as much as he can transform into his mom. Obviously, he doesn't actually turn into it.
And they go that way with the show, eventually, because I don't feel like that's a spoiler because most people are going to watch it are watching it because they've seen Psycho.
Yeah. It sounds really bad, dude. There's nothing pulling me in here. How is it made
as
well?
As its own film thing, it's fine. It's like as a TV drama, it's fine.
Mm.
But it shouldn't be called Bates Motel. They should have changed the names completely, or just said, this is a thing based on the same characters.
It's always the difficulty, isn't it? Like,
calling it a prequel is what essentially kills it in its own way.
It's always the difficulty because you get series where like the thing before is high quality and it's really hard not to come off like you're just hanging on to the coattails. Like even some of the stuff that's kind of recommended, like Hannibal, the TV series, has its moments of really good stuff, but it just doesn't ever reach Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, even Red Dragon level of stuff. But then you get other stuff like Battlestar Galactica.
But the difference with Hannibal is Hannibal doesn't claim to be a prequel to the films. Hannibal just claims to be its own version of Hannibal.
Yes, that's true. They very deliberately, even though they acknowledged,
they acknowledge the films, but it's not going, this is what we're heading towards. They go, this is our version of Hannibal.
Yeah, you're right. Just going back, so you have like, if the series is a bit naff, like Battlestar Galactica was always a bit of a naff sci-fi series, so when they redid it, it's like, oh god, doing this really well, fuck, we didn't know it could become this, because it's like, we've got another take on the franchise, but when it is something quality anyway, and you're sticking within the realm, so Psycho is a suspense horror thriller, at least for the time it was made, and they're trying to make a sort of suspenseful horror thrillery TV series. The only one I'd say straggled the line reasonably well was Scream. At least the first series of Scream. The second one left me a bit flat, but Scream felt... The TV series and the film felt like they both... I think I made a video on it.
But even that, it wasn't a prequel. It was its own thing.
Yes, it was its own thing. Yeah. But Bates is trying...
It's trying to be a prequel. Yeah. It even recognises itself as a prequel. It claims to be a prequel.
Yeah.
And that just annoys the hell out of me.
Find out why kind of stuff.
As its own thing, it's fine. Like, as it's... this is what we've imagined, like, his upbringing at this section of his life to be like. It's fine. It's basically a series of stupid decisions by his mother, along with all the like crazy town shit that goes on, which is probably more interesting than them. Once you get used to their acting, they both actually work really well.
Right.
I remember the very first episode that I watched in this month.
Very jarring.
Like, it felt horrible. Like, he felt completely wrong.
Is this a kids from a series of Lemony Snicket's a series of unfortunate events situation where once you get used to them, actually you figure they fit the story.
It eventually fits. You get used to it, and it makes sense to a degree. There are occasions when it's like how Norman interacts as himself with other people, for them not to think he's weird feels wrong.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, it's just you know, a nice boy. It's like, really, like, nothing about him puts you off. Like,
got you.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 2 questions. The first one, you watched it all. Was it worth it?
I enjoyed the journey. I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
It's not something I would ever watch again.
Right. Is it something you'd recommend to?
If you don't have much to watch and you just want like a TV drama and you can and you're not wanting the prequel to Psycho. If you want a prequel to Psycho, don't fucking watch it.
Yeah.
If you just want, I quite like, weird murdery type things, I'm gonna watch this. It's not a thriller, it's a drama. It's definitely not a thriller, it's definitely not a horror. I wouldn't play it in those categories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so now in the rankings, we have Psycho. We have the shot-for-shot remake of Psycho with Vince Vaughn. And then we have Bates Hotel.
Yeah.
Where are we ranking? Because obviously Psycho's going to be top, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is this better than the shot-for-shot remake?
No.
No, this is worse than the shot-for-shot remake.
The shot remake is, fine in my book, completely pointless. Don't understand why they bothered. But because it's shot-for-shot, it's just a colour version, basically. Doesn't bother me. The actors are different. I could watch that because it's shot for shot.
Yeah.
I could watch that and just go, yeah, I'm watching Psycho. Bates Motel is not a prequel to Psycho. It doesn't belong in the world of Psycho. The only things that are the same are the names and the place.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That'll do. I'm spoken out, you speak out.
Yeah.
So James Veitch.
Definitely watch.
Bates Motel.
If you're bored.
Yeah. See how you interpret Tom's words. And that's it. We're out.
Bye.
Bye.